On its face, the amendment violates House Rule 16, Clause 7. Now, you can disagree with me, but you're not the chairman anymore. I'm sitting in the chair now.
Reclaiming my time. I certainly do disagree with you. And again, I repeat that the motives of the Republicans today are shameful.
Gentlewoman objected.
Conduct of the committee. Rules do. That's not a rule. We had a video. We understood you had a video.
I seek recognition for a parliamentary inquiry.
Gentlewoman objected because you failed to follow the rule. Her objection is sustained.
Mr. Chairman, I seek...
Mike Johnson and Jim Jordan just delivered one of the most explosive moments in Congress this year, completely dismantling Jerry Nadler in a heated exchange. Nadler came out swinging, but left exposed and humiliated as Johnson and Jordan methodically tore apart his arguments, from calling out Biden's failures to confronting lawfare and the weaponization of government. The two Republicans didn't just defend conservatives. They showcased the glaring double standards in real time. It was a masterclass in accountability that left Democrats scrambling for cover.
Mr. Chairman, there are 13 ayes and 9 noes.
The motion to table.
Mr. Chairman,
Who seeks recognition?
I seek to strike the last. Move to strike the last word.
The ranking member is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, in this last amendment by Ms. Scanlon that was just ruled out of order, you ruled it out of order because it references a specific date. In my parliamentary universe, adding a specific date is considered a limiting amendment. It limits the scope of the underlying amendment. It does not expand it. Therefore, it cannot be a grounds for holding an amendment out of order, because it limits it, it doesn't expand it. It's called in parliamentary terms a limiting amendment, which is always permitted. So this is just another example of Republicans using obviously specious reasoning because you're afraid to vote on anything to do with January 6th. You're afraid to vote on all the things we've talked about before because your constituents might hold you responsible. So I would ask you why this is not a limiting amendment. In what way this expands the scope of the amendment, and I'll yield to you for the purpose.
I'll be happy to answer. We will belabor the point further. I've already explained this, that by presenting this amendment, it changes the purpose of the bill and makes it about January 6th. On its face, by your explanations, by all the comments that have been made, you want this to be about January 6th. You just said it again. You emphasized the same point. That's not what the underlying legislation is about.
Reclaiming my time.
You asked me to respond, and I'm giving you a response. Okay, so on its face, the amendment violates House Rule 16, Clause 7. Now, you can disagree with me, but you're not the chairman anymore. I'm sitting in the chair now.
Reclaiming my time. I certainly do disagree with you. And again, I repeat that the motives of the Republicans today are shameful, as seeking only to avoid voting on all these different subjects that have been raised today. I yield back.
The gentleman yield.
The gentleman has yielded back. Does anyone else seek recognition? Ms. Cicilline, and then I'll get to you, Ms. Johnson.
I have an amendment, so I think Mr. Johnson wants to speak with respect to this, so I'm happy to defer to him.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you. The blatant hypocrisy on display throughout this hearing is mind-numbing, Mr. Chairman. It's very disappointing that the intellectual dishonesty that is on display is shockingly abusive to the process. I mean, you can't tell the American people who are looking at this that to include federal law enforcement officers in a resolution honoring the service of local and state law enforcement officers is irrelevant or non-germane or out of order in some way. The American people understand that law enforcement is law enforcement. They understand that January 6th, Capitol Hill police officers died They understand that federal law enforcement officers over the years have died. Actually 650 have died from gunfire over the years. 650 have died from gunfire, federal law enforcement officers. Not to mention the 7 fallen officers of the U.S. Capitol Police Department, 2 of whom have passed away within the last 2 years due to the insurrection. And so we've had law enforcement officers, federal law enforcement officers, who've given their lives to protect us. They were the ultimate displays of courage. But yet this committee doesn't have the courage.
Mr. Chairman, we have a video we'd like to play.
Mr. Chairman.
We have a video we'd like to play.
Mr. Chairman.
Dean,
I
what
object.
purpose does Ms. Dean seek recognition?
I object. I'm reserving my right to object to the video.
Why would
May I inquire as to whether the gentleman has followed the Judiciary Committee's AV protocol by providing 48 hours notice to the committee's clerk that he was going to use a video?
we provided notice? Well, first of all, there's no 48-hour rule. It's not in the committee rules. Second, we did let the committee staff, the majority, know that we had a video, and we gave the video to him this morning.
Responding to the gentlelady's request, he did not. He did not supply the 48 hours rule. 48 hours notice required by the rule.
Mr. Chairman.
And I insist on my objection. Having failed to follow the bipartisan protocol, I insist on my objection.
An objection has been heard. The video will not be shown.
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
The ruling has been made. There's been no ruling that was made. There's been no ruling that's been made. There's been an objection.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to speak regarding...
No, that's out of order. This is not debatable.
Well, what's out of order is there is no rule that requires a 48-hour notice. That's what's out of order.
There is such a rule.
There is not in our rules.
Mr. Chairman, what are you afraid of?
There is such a rule. You objected last year. You were told there was such a rule.
Mr. Chairman, what are our colleagues on the other side of the aisle afraid of? Are they afraid of videos of parents?
The gentleman was recognized for his opening statement. Is he finished with his opening statement?
I'm not finished with my opening.
I seek recognition for a parliamentary inquiry.
Proceed with his opening statement.
It's not a rule. It's what you said. I think the term you used is it's protocol.
The gentlewoman objected.
Conduct of the committee. Rules do. That's not a rule. We had a video. We understood you had a video.
I seek recognition for a parliamentary inquiry.
Gentlewoman objected because you failed to follow the rule. Her objection is sustained.
Mr. Chairman, I seek...
Does the gentleman have anything else?
I seek recognition for a parliamentary inquiry.
We had... I'll yield back in just a second, and particularly if you're going to recognize
gentleman yields back?
No, I haven't yielded back yet. I said I will in a second. It's a video about parents at school board meetings. Moms and dads speaking at school board meetings, and you guys aren't going to let us play it?
It will not be played. An objection has been heard that he failed to give the 48 hours required by the rule, and therefore...
What rule? Mr. Chairman, what rule? Parliamentary inquiry, what rule? Please present the rule.
In the case of audio-visual materials under the leadership of my predecessor, Chairman Goodlatte, Republican, the committee developed a written protocol for managing the use of audio-visual materials in our hearings.
Written protocol.
This protocol simply requires members to provide 48 hours notice they are going to use audio-visual materials. Until recently, this protocol was not controversial. It was a helpful tool we used to manage hearings and make sure videos played properly. The gentlewoman has objected to the materials because the gentleman did not provide the agreed-upon 48 hours notice. Playing audio-visual materials during a committee hearing is the equivalent of introducing printed materials into the hearing record. In the normal course of business, we do not object to each other's requests, but members have the right to object if they so choose, and an objection has been heard.
Mr. Chairman, did we ever vote on that?
That's a clever written statement, but a protocol is not a rule.
Statement.
Mr. Chairman, obviously you're not going to let us play it. Obviously you're going to censor us, which is sort of the conduct of the left today, it seems, and Democrats today, it seems. I'll yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. A point of order. Gentleman will state his point of order.
the actual written rule. This is not a rule.
It is not a point of order, as I said before. Playing audiovisual materials during a committee hearing is the equivalent of introducing printed materials into the hearing record. In the normal course of business, we do not object to each other's requests, but members have the right to object if they so choose, and an objection has been heard.
It's not a rule, sir. I'd ask you to rule on my point of order.
The gentleman has not made a valid point of order. The gentleman...
Move the table. Move the table.
There's nothing to appeal. There's been no ruling. There's been no ruling.
There's just been an objection.
There's just been an objection, and the objection has been heard.
Welcome back to the channel, your home for the unfiltered truth the mainstream media won't touch. Before we dive in, make sure to hit subscribe, smash that like button, and ring the bell. Every click helps us stand strong against the censorship machine trying to silence patriotic voices. Now, let's get into what just went down in Congress, because, folks, this was brutal. Speaker Mike Johnson and Congressman Jim Jordan tag teamed and absolutely demolished Jerry Nadler in a heated exchange that left Democrats scrambling for answers. Nadler walked in with his trademark arrogance, lecturing, twisting words, trying to paint Republicans as villains. But Johnson wasn't having it. Calm, sharp, and surgical, he dismantled Nadler's weak points one by one, exposing Biden's failures, the DOJ's double standards, and the Democrats' obsession with weaponizing government power against their political opponents. Then came Jim Jordan, and if you've ever seen him in action, you know he doesn't hold back. Jordan came out swinging, laying out exactly how the Biden administration and Democrats have turned federal agencies into political weapons. He broke it all down, how parents at school board meetings get labeled as threats, while real criminals walk free under Biden's soft-on crime policies.